What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today I'm going to be talking about things I do not understand. First of all, you might be able to tell that the video looks a little bit different. I have a new couch. This is the couch that I'm going to be using to record most of my videos from now on. I have a little area set up in the apartment that I live at, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be my studio. And my cat is right here, so I apologize if he jumps up and makes some noise. You have to bear with me on that. Alright, like I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about the things that I don't understand, and these things are the things that I have not been able to comprehend my whole entire life. And I have many, many questions, or I just can't. I can have all my questions answered, and I can look into it, I can really learn about it, but I can still not be able to wrap my head around it. Alright, so let's start with number one. Time. Time in the way of being relative. How can time be relative? Like, how can someone go up into space and they come back 5 years later, but these people on the ground are older than them? Like, they aged differently. And I'm sorry, but they've been gone for the same amount of time as... I just don't understand how that could even happen or that could even work. Like, I get experiencing time as relative, like someone sleeping versus someone going to school or work. I totally get that, but I do not understand how someone can go up to space and then when they come back, they're younger or older or whatever the case may be. Like, how can time be slower to that person? I don't, whatever. Sticking with the theme, time travel. What? Like, let's talk about time travel in TV shows or movies. Like, how, if that is possible, how would it make any sense if you went back in time to change something that maybe you did or that for an outcome, and then when we see your adventure back in time to fix the problem, and then it's like present day, you went back in time again. Like, the thing that affected you was you, but how would that even be possible? Like, it's just this loop. I don't understand time travel in movies and TV shows. I cannot understand it at all. Money. Like, I'm okay with giving someone something like paper money in exchange for things. I'm totally fine with that. It's like bartering, but you're not trading your actual possessions. Like, I don't need to give you a cow to get 10 sheep or something like that. Like, something stupid. I can give you $20 for 10 sheep. I get that. But how come inflation exists? How come we can't print more money? How come because all this crap about how the value of the dollar will go down or whatever the case may be, we're allowing that to happen. We're saying that's going to happen. We're saying it doesn't make any sense to me. Why can't we? Why can't we print more money? Why can't we just say, hey, you know what? The value of the dollar is a dollar and can't change no matter how much money we print. I don't understand why we allow certain things to happen. Like, let's talk about the freaking debt for the United States. How can we default on our own debt? Why? Because we say we can. We put that limit and then we reach that limit, and we don't say we won't reach the limit. Like, some of these countries don't even have debt limits. They don't have a super high ceiling, or they don't have a ceiling, or they have a really high ceiling that they'll never reach because they allow themselves never to reach it. I don't understand how. What? Sleep. I don't get how I need to get 7.5 to 9.5 hours of sleep, and I'm still tired. I'm still tired the next day, the next day, the next day, and every day after that. I can get 6 hours and wake up feeling like I slept enough. But then I sleep 8 hours or 9 hours, and I wake up feeling so tired. I don't get why that is. I got more sleep. I just don't get why I'm so tired. I can literally lay down here, read a book, and I'll fall asleep within 10 minutes of reading. I can do that because I'm tired all the time, even if I get enough sleep. If we didn't have to sleep, I could do so much crap. It's unbelievable. I live in Washington State, and here we put in a single-use plastic bag ban, okay? I'm all for banning plastic bags and single-use plastics in general, and just plastic overall. I'm so for it. But literally, like, you go into the store Monday, and there's all these plastic bags at every checkout. Every register has a bunch of plastic bags. That night, the bill is passed to where all these plastic bags are banned. That next morning, there's none of them there anymore. Where did they go? Did we throw them away? Did we recycle them? What did we do with that plastic? Did we just produce way more waste because we just banned all this plastic and you can't use it now? Like, don't buy anymore. Just use these and then don't get any more. But you know what they did instead? They got these reusable plastic bags. And I'm not talking like these bags. I'm talking about these bags. And I like these bags. I do, because they're nicer. They don't fall apart as easily. But these bags are the way to go. Because these still have that problem of most people are only going to use it once. Most people are going to throw it away. On the side of the street, in the freaking grocery store, in the cart. They're still going to be there. They're still going to be in the ocean. And you know what? Just because they're thicker, because they're reusable, they're going to last a whole lot longer in the freaking ocean than the plastic bags already. Why did we do that? That was so stupid. Another thing is master keys. How can I take my key, like I work at a freaking college, okay? And I have access to the residence halls. How can I take my single key and unlock all of these dorm room doors? But every single door has a separate key. What? How does that make sense? How is that even possible? And with that, lockpicking. I don't understand how people do it. I've watched Lockpicking Lawyer for a couple years now. I don't know how he does it. I don't even know. I've seen like transparent versions of keys and lockpicking. I get that you can like bump up the keys or the little whatever they're called. I get that part. But I don't understand how you know how many are in the core or how many in the lock, where they're at, and if it's up, down, left, right. Like, how do you know this? And not every lock can do that. How do you know? How do you learn? How do you figure it out? I don't. Electricity. Before we had electricity, we didn't have electricity at all. The only electricity we ever had was in our bodies. And that's not regular electricity. That's electricity that's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just your brain communicating with all the rest of your body. Going like miles and miles and miles per hour, like going through up and down. But how did someone come up with the idea of harnessing the power of electricity by the sky or freaking wires, like melting this mineral in a rock and stringing it out in a wire and hooking up from here to there, coil it around this other thing? How did people understand that? How did we create these things? The next is sound in space. I don't understand how you cannot hear anything in space. I get it's a vacuum. I get that. But if there was a freaking explosion 5 feet away from me, how can I not hear it? I could probably feel it, but how can I not hear it? It doesn't make sense. I mean, I get air is oxygen with like nitrogen and something else in it. I get that's what I'm breathing in right now. But when you have no air, it's just this empty space, right? But how can sound waves not travel through that? I don't get it. And the last thing is flossing. Like, I am a big opponent of flossing. I do not like flossing. I've never flossed in my whole entire life. And I heard on a freaking video of like a dentist saying, oh, you don't need a floss. I don't even think it was a dentist. I think it was one of those stupid informational YouTube channels that I just heard, you don't need a floss. And I was like, I'm going to go with that. So then I was like, I'm never flossing. And even when my dentist told me to floss, I didn't. And you know what? I got cavities after cavities after cavities over and over and over, and every single time they say, you need to floss. Sometimes my cavities weren't even in between my teeth, so it wouldn't even matter if I flossed in the first place. But finally I said, you know what, I'm tired of cavities. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to do anything about cavities. So I started brushing, flossing, and using mouthwash, and I still had a cavity. So tell me, why is it that I need to floss when almost every single time I floss, there's nothing that comes off out of my teeth or comes onto the floss pick? Tell me why I need to floss when there's nothing there. Anybody? I thought so. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I just thought maybe I should come on here and let you guys know of all the things, or some of the things that I don't understand, that I can learn and learn and learn and learn, but I still don't get it. And if you have an answer to any of my things that I don't understand, or can you explain it to me, let me know in the comments below. I'll be reading them over and over and over to just understand how these things work. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll help me a lot. I will see you guys all next time.